Flash. Psh, he saved every one of us.
Dad, wrong Flash.
I mean, he's not wrong at all.
Oh, my bad.
It's the J. Craig Movie Review. Movie Review. A movie with you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the J. Craig Podcast. I'm Jay.
I'm Jesse.
That's right, and we saw
The
Flash.
The Flash.
Oh, it's The Flash. Okay, that's right. It's not Flash Gordon.
Get it right.
Yeah, my bad. This is the first and possibly the last Flash movie, a solo movie that is. Now that the guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn's taking care of DC now. Looks like this is all going to be 86, but this is the first Flash movie directed by Andy Muschietti. Jesse, do you know what he directed?
It movies?
He directed the It movies. Jesse's a big fan of the It movies. Big horror junkie.
Look at the top of his head.
And now this is the second horror movie director who has made a superhero movie, the first being James Wan. I believe he directed the first Aquaman, and he is from Insidious, if I know my movies, and I don't even know horror movies.
What even is Insidious?
Insidious is a movie you have not seen yet, because I will not watch it with you. All right, so this is The Flash movie starring Ezra Miller as The Flash and Barry Allen. You have Ben Affleck reprising his role as Batman and Bruce Wayne. There's a cast of other characters, including Supergirl, but played by Sasha Calle, and then you have Michael Shannon reprising his role as General Zod. So if you've seen the trailers, you know that Michael Keaton is also in this movie as the Batman, right? Which is quite a draw for many people, including myself. Like, seeing that Batman on the big screen again is kind of cool, right? So, all right, let's get right down to it. The Flash. Before we tell you what's it about, let me just give you a quick take on it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It's not a great movie, but it's very entertaining. It doesn't do too much, or it doesn't try to do too much with like explaining the craziness of time travel. It's not overly complicated.
Like
very
Doctor
funny.
Strange.
Like Doctor Strange, right, Jesse?
I couldn't understand that movie.
Yeah, you can't understand it. It's nothing to understand. It's just craziness and the multitude of madness or something like that.
I don't understand.
So, this movie, Jesse?
Funny, good, best superhero movie I've seen in a while.
Oh, okay. Over Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Okay. So I like Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit more, personally.
Yeah.
All right. So Guardians of the Galaxy for me, then I would put this movie before
Guardians
I
of
put...
the Galaxy and like Flash is just right under it.
Okay. All right. Very well. So, okay. So this is the first story of Flash. It's not really an origins movie, although we understand exactly where he comes from after this movie, or shortly after it starts anyways. This is about saving his mom. The story of Barry is he lost his mom as a young kid. His dad gets framed for it and goes to jail, and he becomes a criminologist and tries to save his dad through science. And then becomes Flash, right? Gets struck by lightning. So this doesn't give you the origin, but kind of explains all that, because it's really simply a tale about a son trying to save his mom. And it's not quite as emotional for me as Guardians of the Galaxy, which is why I put that one above this one. That movie really hit me strong. It was a very sad movie.
Yeah, I was kind of like keeping it, and I was like,
yeah, no, it was tough. That was a tough movie. That was cry worthy. I will say. Now this movie didn't quite get me there. Jesse, did it get you there at all?
A little
Flash?
bit.
Yeah, a little bit? Okay, good. Well, and it's going to work for some people in that regard. I know what they're going for. I appreciated it, but it didn't hit me as much as Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever that's worth. This movie is a lot of fun. It is funny. It's not as blatantly humorous as your new Marvel movies where it's just chock full of humor.
And like, if someone just like being really serious, like, okay, if we do not do this right enough, then the whole galaxy is destroyed. And then it's like, but
Insert joke everywhere, right?
Yeah.
This movie has a lot of jokes, but they're appropriately placed, right? They're not in the middle of action necessarily. So it works really well. There's some great cameos, which we will not divulge, right? From early onset of the story to... references to the ending things. There is so a lot of people who saw screeners early, there was not, as rumors are saying, a different ending. Okay, there was not a different ending. There was just a shortened ending. They didn't show you the goods at the very end. The last couple of minutes, they cut that out. You're going to see the very last few minutes that some other people have not seen yet. when something happens, it cuts, and now we get to see exactly what was going on that they cut away from. It's actually pretty cool. Jesse didn't really recognize what happened there. I had to explain it to him, but now he understands because he has seen that particular movie.
I've seen
right?
a few
So,
Batman
okay, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, so it's fun. It's entertaining. It's not overly complicated, right?
Yeah.
It's very easy to understand.
Yes, yeah,
It's
very.
heartfelt.
Very.
It's got a good, strong heart to the center of the story, which is why it works. So if you have a Barry movie with only Barry doing all the talking, then Barry could get kind of irritating, like a Star-Lord movie. I'm just saying. He annoys me. So what they did with this one was what? They
made it like so
a second Barry.
yeah, the second Barry who's not as funny, and then the main Barry that's not as funny, and then the other Barry that is more funny and not serious and not as serious.
Okay, so they end up, you've seen the trailers, I'm sure, everyone, right? So there's another Barry, he runs into himself, and he actually starts to see why everyone thinks he's so annoying. And he's like, oh, that's how I sound? So he starts to dial it down a bit, the serious Barry, the Barry who's our story is focused on, and this other alternative Barry is like the goofball. He's just like kind of, he's out there, right? So I think that's a really great way to do it because now our grounded Barry is our front leader, right? He's the one who's leading the story, which makes a lot of sense. It helps the story out completely, and it's not just a jokey movie. Stay to the ending. I mean, obviously to the very ending, there's a lot of great things that happen at the very end. Some cameos that you might not be aware of, so look it up online afterwards. There's some cool little trivia things in there if you're not familiar with some of the other cool superhero movies that may or may not have come out in the past. That's all I'll say about that. In closing, go see it. I like this more than I did Spider-Man. I didn't do a review on Spider-Man because we saw it quite late. We just saw it recently, actually, and I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was
very good.
I think this one was much better than Spider-Man. Some great stuff in Spider-Man, but ultimately it's Guardians of the Galaxy, The Flash, and then the Spider-Man movie. So that's so far so good when it comes down to it. So in the end, go see it. Jesse, take us home.
Like and subscribe because that's what people do, and it also helps us.
That's right.
And then don't dislike, please.
Don't dislike, please.
We need
you heard the man.
We need the this.
Thanks
we need the this.
for watching.
Bye.
Bye now.
It's the J. Craig Movie Review.